Rock in the hit show Trailer Park Boys. I'm not sure if if you're familiar with that show.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, so that was a really big show here in Canada, and actually it's on Netflix as well, and it became really big in the U.S. So to talk to him and have, he has his own podcast as well. So to talk about that with him was really fun. I really enjoyed that one. I did one with one of our on TSN in Canada. We have one of our kind of one of our biggest names in terms of interviewing people is Cabral Richards. He goes by Cabby. He's an interviewer. He does Cabby, presents Cabby on the street. He interviews like tons of people. He's like the main TSN reporter, and he does really funny interviews. So I had him on with Cellus Hamilton, who was a guest, who was an Olympic speed skater for Team Canada, multi-time Olympic gold medalist. So to kind of have that, like the interviewer and then the athlete was great. And then I'm a big music guy, and growing up, Sum 41 was my favorite band of all time, and they still are. And I had Dave Backish, the guitarist of Sum 41, on one of my panels as well. So that was a dream come true for sure.
Yeah, and that's the greatest thing to me about podcasting. There is no limits. You can only interview sports people. You can only interview music. You can only interview certain people. Podcasting is endless. There's so many opportunities, and I reach out to people on Twitter all the time. Like, I don't care. Like, my main focus for this show was to have a player from the Mavs Summer League team. I was able to make that happen. I got a guy, Corey Webster, who played on the team, and I reached out to really 4 different players because, let's be honest, if you're reaching out to somebody on Twitter that you don't know, some people may want to accept an interview or may want to do it, but some people just don't, and it's of course their prerogative to decline it. But I was going to ask you, how do you go about getting these guests on your show?
Yeah, so I think it's a good question, and it's a question I get a lot, and it has to do with using your network. 85% of my guests, I would say I contact them through Twitter or email, and it has to do with using commonalities. I know, like, some people followed me on Twitter because they love hockey, and then I just kind of established a relationship with them where we talked hockey, we talked about things. Then I started a podcast, and I was like, hey, do you want to come on my podcast? And like, for example, we had the social media manager of the Harlem Globetrotters came on our show one day, and he was doing like a Twitter takeover with the Globetrotters, and they asked me if I could ask a question. So I asked a question, and one of the Globetrotters, Flip, Saul White, aka Flip, who came on, he was the one to answer my questions, and we followed each other on Twitter, and we started talking because we're huge wrestling fans. And then I had him on my show, with a wrestler. I had him on with Daniel Puder, the former Tough Enough winner from WWE's $1 Million Tough Enough. So that type of thing, it's that kind of like finding similar interests to people, using your network, and just talking to people that have the same passions as you, and just asking them. I mean, worst comes to worst, you ask someone, they say no, they can't, or they're not interested, and that happens a lot. But most of the people that I've wanted on my show and I have asked for have come on my show, so I'm truly blessed in that regard. So it's just, I don't think there's one specific answer, Ben. I mean, it's just, I think you have it down. You're using your network, you're asking people to come on the show, you're using DMs properly, you're following up with instructions. That's important as well. So, for example, if, you contact someone, you contact their a publicist, listening to the instructions is really good, because it depends. Some people I go for their agent, their publicist. Some people I go directly, and they say, okay, I start with a Twitter message, and then I go to an email. You go to that. So it's that type of thing as well.
Yeah, I think building your network and people that follow you, like, I mean, you followed me, and also you've got the group on Twitter where we share out all of our podcasts and stuff like that. and that's how I got to know you. So yeah, I mean, like I said, the possibilities are endless, and if you just reach out, if they decline it, if they don't respond, it is okay, because there's someone out there that will accept the invitation, because a lot of people want to get their thoughts out. A lot of people want to be heard. And sometimes if you're not like the biggest guy in the movie, or if you're not the biggest guy on the team, you may be looked over. And I think that's what's fun, to be able to have like your favorite guy that you used to follow, or somebody that you enjoy and people want to hear from. So yeah, I mean, shouts out to you for all the guests that you've had, all the different opportunities. And so what are the favorite teams that you follow as far as sports? I know you're in Canada, so hockey is of course huge there, but do you follow outside of hockey, the Raptors, or football and everything?
Oh, absolutely. I've always been a sports fan. It's always like I've always watched every sport. Had specific teams. I mean, I grew up. So Toronto, Raptors, NBA have been my team for many years, and still a fan of them. I was from Montreal, so I used to be a Montreal Expos fan in the MLB. And then I guess when they were no longer a team, they moved to Washington. I started being a Blue Jays fan. And then in the NFL, I've always been a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I remember playing NFL Blitz on at the arcades, always picking the Pittsburgh Steelers because I like the colors, like the black and the yellow. And then, I actually started. I was a Steelers fan for many years. It didn't even start, when they, when they were winning all those Super Bowls with Jerome Bettis and Hines Ward. It was like a lot before that as well. So I've been a big fan of them. I follow everything. Like I said, I'm a big wrestling fan as well. I like soccer. I'm a big fan of, tennis as well. I don't want to limit myself. I want to, watch as much as I can, and that's why I love the Olympics so much. The amount of sports in 2 weeks that you get to consume is amazing. It's paradise for a guy like me.
Yeah, and I'm trying to expand into everything. I've got a press pass with the Dallas Stars, so that is my focus going into next year, to attend as many games as possible. And also I do soccer as well. I think it's just, you can't limit yourself to a couple of sports, because if you really want to expand, I just think you have to have your eyes and ears and be open to everything. And I think that's what makes it even more fun to be able to do podcasts and do different things as such. So, man, I appreciate you, Peter, for coming on. Once again, Peter Roumeliotis, and at PD Beats on Twitter, Popternative. That's Popternativ. And make sure you go follow him on YouTube. A lot of great videos on there. And man, I appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you taking time out.
Thank you for having me, Ben. I'm a big fan of your show, and I'm a big fan of your passion and your drive. So keep it up, and I have no doubt that you and me will be, talking and chatting at a really big sporting event one day. So I'm looking forward to that. Definitely. I will be there. We will be there in the building. So appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, take care.
You too.
All right, that was Peter Roumeliotis. I had to put the pronunciation in the notes, or I would have messed that name up for sure. But great guest. I'm always open to having different guests on, different people on, and he's got a pretty good platform, like I said. But are you guys watching Last Chance U? Last Chance U, like I said, it's on Netflix, and it's a pretty cool show. The new season just came out, so definitely go check it out if you get a chance, and check out Peter. I'll put his information in the chat room. And Big L and Vince seem to be going back and forth about these Bears and and Vikings. Big L says Bridgewater broke his leg doing a drill. He in the wrong sport. And Vince says, Big L, you just worry about the lame Bears. And yeah, there is something to worry about for sure. So it's not completely perfect for what's going on with those Bears, but we'll see what happens. NFL season going to be coming up very, very soon. So like I said, I was able to talk with Corey Webster. Corey Webster played with the Mavs Summer League team this past Summer League season. So I was able to interview him. I will play that interview in a moment. He is actually traveling around. He's actually from New Zealand. But we will get to that interview here in a moment. But I want to play the song by my man Cellus Hamilton. The song is called Higher. Played it at the beginning of the show. So if you guys did miss it, I will go ahead and play this back. I'll also play some other songs later on. But we're going to take a break. We'll get into the song called Higher by Cellus Hamilton. Also, shout out to the Jeff Fox show. Jeff Fox in the building. Appreciate you for jumping in to the chat room. And I got to say this. Jeff Fox has some of the best guests on his show that I've ever heard of. And he's got some connections out of this world. He had Scoop Jackson on there. Had Jason Whitlock on the show this past week. Has had Buddy Hield, excuse me. And go check out the show, Jeff Fox Show, 2livestewsradio.com, formerly WSME Radio. If you type in WSMEradio.com, you'll still find it. But 2livestewsradio.com is the link. Shout out to Doug Stewart and also Ryan Stewart. The show is back. Ryan Stewart's going to be doing the show, I believe, every Thursday or Friday. Also, shout out to Rudy Reyes, is a new addition to the 2 Live Stews Radio Network. So, we will be right back.
Are you looking for the very best darts and dartboards? Look no further than AtomicDarts.com. They are your one-stop shop for steel tip, soft tip, and today's best dartboards. That's AtomicDarts.com. Family owned and operated. Why shop anyplace else? Whatever you're looking for, chances are we have it. Get name brands like Viper, Fat Cats, and Elka Dart, all at an everyday affordable price. Act now and get free standard shipping on all orders of $50 or more. U.S. only. That's AtomicDarts.com, helping you nuke the competition.
Are you looking for an honest car guy? Somebody that's going to shoot it straight, give you the honest answers, and give you the best deal on the car of your dreams? Check out Shawn Nataneti, Internet Sales Manager at Jerry Durant Toyota, Texas. Call or text him at 817-231-3696 or visit his website at GoShawnAuto.com. He'll give you a great deal on the car of your dreams. Even if you're not in Texas, he can still give you a deal on a car. Check him out right now. Shawn Nataneti, GoShawnAuto.com.
Doctor, tell me why my heart still broke if we broke up 3 months ago. Actually it's been 4. How long should a black man cope? Used to talk like I don't know. We don't talk at all no more. Oh my God, I'm high. I told myself I wasn't gonna do the singing on this one. Just rap and play my instrument, stick to my thing on this one. Funny, I said I would never be here. Yesterday I made the decision to do what I feel. We recognize real, you an imposter, we don't know you. Your circle puffin' squares, G. I'm a tree mogul, at least I was till yesterday. When the Most High came and clouded all my pain away. Now with my sober brain
He'll
I sing.
take you higher, 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 higher. He'll take you higher, 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 he'll take you higher.